Viewers, after 400 hours, there's finally light at the end of the tunnel. Where machines failed, intrepid rat hole diggers, a posse of lithe men are now burrowing through the debris and are just a couple of meters away from extracting the 41 trapped workers in Uttarkashi. The Silkyara tunnel was part of the Char Dham project, and part of it caved in 17 days ago, entrapping the workers over the last few days. The nation's hopes have risen only to be dashed as news of an imminent breakthrough has been eclipsed by news of a failure. The failures have almost always happened due to machine failure. Giant and potent auger machines imported from the United States along with international tunneling experts have been confounded by the guiles of the mountain that has proven difficult to master. But viewers, the failures may have deterred the machines, but not man. Finally, a breakthrough is at hand. The nation's prayers are being answered. And fundamentally, viewers, we have a situation where a miracle has arisen out of the rubble. A breakthrough almost imminent. The humble human with modest drill is proving to be more than a match for the mountain that is finally yielding. 41 ambulances, medicines, oxygen cylinders and a makeshift hospital are in place. Helicopters are ready to airlift any of the workers in need of immediate medical attention. So far, the workers are thought to be in good health and, more importantly, in sound mind. Viewers, let's go straight across to Anshul Singh, who's joining us live from Uttarkashi. These visuals speak 1,000 if not a billion words today. Anshul, as we see imminent breakthrough in the next 1 hour or perhaps even earlier, viewers, it could even happen as we speak.
So yes, what we have been told that the breakthrough already happened, but yes, the pushing in of the pipe, basically what the breakthrough means, that the manual drilling process that was happening, the rat hole mining that was happening, they have successfully been able to remove all the debris in front of the pipes. At this point in time, if I could just try and show you in the visuals over here, right behind me is the Silkyara end of the tunnel. What is happening at this point, what we are being told is that the pipe has been extended by a few meters because it was right in the rubble when the breakthrough had happened, and that extension of pipe is now being pushed inside the tunnel. Now once that process of pushing in the pipe happens, then the stabilization of that pipe will take place, which will be done by the men of the NDRF, who will go inside the tunnel and stabilize the pipe from that end. And post that, the rescue operations will start. So we are just awaiting for that official confirmation in which we will be told that this entire operation has now been handed over to the NDRF. It is likely to happen within the next few minutes, is what we are being told. The auger machine is being used to drill that pipe inside and get on the other side of the debris, at least 2 meters away from the debris, because the rescuers are at this point in time very concerned that if at all while these people are being taken out from those pipes, and any vibrations that might happen, then the debris will fall yet again, which would eventually mean that the outlet of the pipe will get blocked yet again, and the entire operation would then yet again be
Well, you've been speaking to a large number of people who are assembled there, Anshul. Most of them, I'm told, are from, of course, the government. Central ministers are also there, of course. But I want to ask you, where are the relatives and where are they staying? Are they being well looked after?
So yes, the relatives just a few moments ago were in fact called right inside the tunnel, because it was expected that the pulling out operation would start. But yes, now since the decision has been taken to push the pipe further in, and hence the people have been asked, the relatives have been asked to go back and rest. They would be called back once the pushing of the pipes comes to an end. And if you talk about the relatives, yes, they are being looked after perfectly. The state government has sponsored all their expenses, including their stay, travel and food, lodging. Even the mobile bills have been sponsored by the state government. This announcement was made approximately 6 to 7 days ago, and since then a lot of people have gathered over here. I spoke to a lot of relatives, and all of them were absolutely happy. The smiling faces that were seen, that was something that we were waiting to see for the past 17 days. Initially, a lot of these people, when they came in, all of them, their morals were down, they were tense. In fact, a few people also broke down while speaking to us as well. But yes, now since finally the breakthrough has happened, it is just the last final leg of this operation that is underway. So yes, there is a lot of positivity that can be sensed over here. And yes, the rescuers are also making sure that they do not get too excited and push the pipe hard enough in a hard way. So because of that, vibrations might happen, and and it could create a blockade.
Well, just stay on with me. Stay on with me, Anshul, because what we are seeing on our screens, viewers, are 6 boxes of visuals. Now, what are these boxes? Let me just take you through them. On the upper left-hand corner of the screen are the 41 Shramiks who are waiting, who have been waiting heroically, viewers, let me tell you, for the last 17 days to come through. And not one of them has complained, not one of them has suggested that what they did or what they plan to do is in any way different from what they would have done, viewers. They're going to stick with the task. They will come back to work. In the middle, viewers, you see the final phase. Those are the rat hole miners who are in there, and they are going physically one by one into those tubes and trying to rescue these 41 Shramiks. The families are there, as Anshul has told us. The medical teams are there in those visuals of the medical teams, both ambulances and of course doctors, paramedics. The whole jing-bang is in that tunnel waiting for that moment. If it is needed, these people who are going to be rescued will be taken to hospital. But as of now, viewers, let me tell you that there is no indication that any of those individuals inside the tunnel are, at least on the face of it, in any way indisposed. Obviously, only a full medical examination will reveal how the body has endured these last 17 days of unmitigating stress. The Chief Minister and other members of his administration, cabinet, as well as central leaders of the government have been coming in, viewers, and have been trying to do their little bit to ensure that all the agencies that are there are working together in a manner which is seamless to extricate these 41 Shramiks. Now, viewers, let's open this up, because yes, we are on the verge of success. But viewers, there are long-term implications also. Let's not forget that. Many people are talking about an eco-disaster in waiting. They say, okay, we've done what we had to do now. The tunnel threat has been tackled, but not quite the eco-disaster. This Char Dham project poses a challenge environmentally and also geographically. But we'll open all of that. Viewers, let me introduce our panel to us this evening. I'll go back to Anshul to take an update in the next 10 minutes or so. But I don't think tonight, viewers, is a night where we should indulge in politicking, even though it is breaking out on the sidelines. Now, I want to bring in, first of all, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai and also Yashpal Sondriyal, who's an earth scientist. If you could put your phone down, sir, then we can have an uninterrupted and undisturbed conversation. So let me ask you, Mr. Sondriyal, many people are saying that yes, the tunnel threat in the interim has been tackled, but this project is infirm, that at some levels, the larger eco-disaster that awaits us could be triggered. What are your views, sir, as an earth scientist? I can't hear you, sir. I think you might be on mute. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Personally, I feel that
yeah,
tunnels are safer way for travel in the Himalaya. But the question is, if the adequate procedure, the norms and safety parameters should be taken on priority basis. This Silkyara tunnel collapsed only because strong support system was not there. Otherwise, they they have completed 2.4 kilometer channel from the Silkyara side. From the this Silkyara is along the Bhagirathi Valley, and then Barkot is in the Yamuna Valley. So both from both the sides they were digging, and one another thing I would like to add that I don't know why the government is not using tunnel boring machine if they are constructing tunnels in the Himalaya, because tunnel boring machine will disturb a limited area as compared to the digging through this JCB and pokers and using the dynamite that disturb much more area. So for the Himalayan region, we should opt different technology. We can't compare this part of the country with our southern part, eastern part, or western part, because Himalaya is still active. It is still rising. It is active domain. So keeping in mind all these parameters, we should make our policies.
Okay, so Mr. Sundaryal, you said that strong support system should have been provided. What was lacking in the support system?
Actually, I have not seen that they have used the bigger girders of thick pipes and flat pipes of very heavy gauge in the support system, because we have seen that some iron rods which are not seems enough competent, they use that, and then they use the short cutting, they forcefully thrown the cement, liquid cement, to stabilize the tunnel along with some iron rods. So bigger girders I have not seen there that they have used that.
So you said bigger girders should have been used, so you're finding fault with the engineering. Okay, let's open this up, viewers, because I also have with us Dr. Bagai. We also have with us the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sanju Verma, and Tehseen Poonawala. The Congress, of course, viewers, and other opposition parties have been questioning the application of the centre in extracting these 41 Shramiks, but we'll come to that. I don't know if this is really the time to be politicizing a very delicate operation, but I want to begin with Dr. Bagai. Dr. Bagai, on the face of it, all these Shramiks look to be in fine fettle, so to speak. They at least are proclaiming that they're getting food. Yes, in the initial stages, they were only getting dry fruit, etc., but now they're getting a normal, balanced diet, at least over the last 1 week. What do you think could be the effects of this sort of nature-driven incarceration, if I can use this term, on their physical being right now?
Good evening, Rahul. Good evening, everyone on panel and all the viewers. So I think getting these 41 workers out would not, and in a good medical state, would be nothing short of a miracle. There are lots of changes which take place when you are in confinement of such a nature. That also many hundreds of feet below level. There is impact of lack of water, which is dehydration, lack of electrolytes, in which you can have muscle cramps, lack of calories and protein, which can cause malnutrition and muscle wasting, immunity impact. There would be high pressure inside these tunnels and lack of oxygen and hypothermia, remembering that we are entering now into the winter months, and deep down it will be a lot cooler. There would be a lot of psychological impact. There will be feelings of fear, helplessness, fear of death, anxiety, uncertainty, not knowing whether they will come out alive, and as and when hopefully all of them should come up alive and well. They will also have a part what we call as a post-traumatic stress syndrome. So I think a lot of issues need to be tackled still. It's not over as yet. I think we need a structural stability of the tunnel through which these workers will be brought out. We need a very good triage on ground which is in place. Transport medicine needs very, very quick attention, because transporting these people to the hospital as required would require special care. Detailed lab tests would be required, psychological and mental rehab. So it's a long way forward, but I think it's a great team effort of various agencies. I think a detailed audit would take place as and when after the workers are out. But I think we need to focus on the medical and emotional well-being of each and every one of these 41 workers.
Okay, let's open this up, because viewers, there are certain questions that have been raised, of course, by the experts here. And let me ask you, Sanju Verma, some people are saying, look, no emergency exit was built inside the tunnel and so on and so forth. Of course, you've heard the Congress today all day, and the Congress party and its leaders have been saying that the Prime Minister ought to have been there. He was busy campaigning. He didn't pay more attention to this because he was only interested in building his fortunes and the BJP's fortunes. So you know the basic accusations that are flowing towards you. How do you respond to them?
Rahul, the opposition, by virtue of being a debilitated and fractious bunch of 27 or 28 odd parties, criticizing the Prime Minister is a full-time gainful employment for them. If they had not criticized the BJP or the Pradhan Mantri, I would be surprised. But unfortunately, or should I say, not surprisingly, there are no surprises here from the opposition, particularly the Congress. I don't think we need lessons, in terms of sensitivity from the Congress, because I remember, while I come to the moot issue of the debate, since you've raised, a pertinent political point, let me just say, the last riots of Sandeep Unni Krishnan in the aftermath of the horrific 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, the last rites had not yet been done, and Rahul Gandhi was busy attending, a marriage function of one of his father's sons. So, be that as it may, I just have this to say, without trivializing this entire issue. First and foremost, great job by the NDRF, great job by the SDRF, great job by Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Dhami, great job by the Prime Minister's office, be it PK Mishra, the top gun within the PMO, who's been monitoring events 24/7, or for that matter, previous advisor to the PMO, Bhaskar Kulbe, or for that matter, senior Union Cabinet Minister, General VK Singh. They've all been on the spot trying to ensure that the entire process of evacuation of these 41 people trapped is seamless without any further delay. I know it's been 17 days too late.
Rahul,
Can I please finish?
They only got in when media pressure came out. Until then, not a single word was spoken.
Okay,
17 days this has happened. And to bring in Rahul Gandhi going for a wedding, the Prime Minister was shooting at Spin. That's below the belt. Let's not be below the belt.
One second.
All of them came in when you put pressure,
Okay,
media put pressure,
let's
we
speak
put
over
pressure.
each other. Okay, it's very difficult to conduct a debate, viewers, with people
can't
speaking.
come
Okay,
here
one
and
second.
say-
Let
and give
her
yourself
finish.
pat on the back.
I'll
That's
give you
not how
enough
it
time.
works.
Tehseen Punhar, I'll give you
Sure.
enough time to respond to Sanju Verma.
Sure.
Yes, Sanju Verma, just quickly go back to the central point. The central point being that the government was distracted. Their
I'm
priority
coming to
was
your
not the
point.
lives. Yeah.
I'm coming to your point.
Yeah.
Rahul, you were on another channel.
Yeah.
And all through the horrific COVID second wave,
Yes.
if there was one person who was regularly on your shows, taking tough questions on the chin from you, it was me, Sanju Verma.
That's true.
And I called a spade even then. And I will not hesitate to call a spade, irrespective of my political ideology and political affiliation whatsoever they may be. But for Tehseen or anybody from the Congress to sit and take a moral high ground and engage in this moral posturing and try and trivialize the entire effort painstakingly undertaken by both the Uttarakhand Chief Minister's office, his state dispensation and the Prime Minister's office, I think that is stretching things a bit too far. And let me tell you one more thing. Who is in power in Bihar today along with JDU and RJD? The left and the Congress are in coalition there. As recently as June 2023, a bridge in Sultanganj in Bhagalpur district constructed at a cost of 1706 crore. It collapsed. I did not see any media debates. I did not see the Congress crying for the, victims of people who lost their near and dear ones in the Sultanganj bridge collapse.
No one died.
There was a bridge collapse in 2018.
That's the problem. 8 bridges collapsed last year in Gujarat.
I'm calling out your bluff.
8 bridges.
I'm calling out your bluff.
8 bridges collapsed last year in Gujarat, including Morbi.
You can
the Prime Minister's friends were involved in building Morbi.
Are they behind bars?
Let her respond. You cannot come on national TV and lie. That's unacceptable.
I don't need to take lessons from you on how to debate.
Please do not lie.
I don't need to take lessons from
Lies
you.
are unacceptable.
You can come back.
You are not
Let's make your points. Make your points. Make your points.
Just because I'm not Raja Harishchandra does not give you the right to lie on national TV. No one died in Bihar.
Yes,
8 bridges collapsed in Gujarat.
Yes, you can make your point and then you can rebut her point by point. You make your point.
Yeah. So can I please finish?
Yeah.
I also have one very important point to make. Is it true that 690 hectares of forests are going to be cleared? 20 million cubic meters of soil will be evacuated. Is it true that 55,000 trees will be cut to make way for the Char Dham project, which will ensure greater connectivity to pilgrims who want to visit Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, what have you? Yes, there will be some extent of deforestation. But more importantly, this is not about providing connectivity to pilgrims. This is about a very important thing which no channel has spoken yet. This is about the fact that the Char Dham project involves expanding the national highway along the Tanakpur-Pithoragarh NH125. 900 kilometers of expansion of roads and highways. This will serve as a strategic feeder road between army camps on the Indo-China border and our army camps in Meerut and Dehradun, which stockpile missiles.
Okay.
So this will serve as a strategic feeder road as well.
You're making the point.
You're making security concerns too.
Look, obviously, viewers, we have to strike a balance between development and environment. There's no doubt about that. Both have to go hand in glove. But the point is, can we do it better? That's a fundamental point. And you've already heard the earth scientist whose interview also raised a large number of questions, and he has, of course, pondered some of those issues. But very quickly, I find, Mr. Poonawalla, look, we can each dissect what the other person has said and get into the nitty-gritties and go into the weeds and pull each other's hairs out, right? But the fact of the matter is that you have a constant barrage. Only, and I'm not saying that the opposition needs to speak in the government's voice, obviously not. But there is not constructive criticism. The Prime Minister being there in spirit, I think works more than being there in person.
Exactly.
I feel that if he is trying to coordinate, ensure that what is required is delivered from his end, wouldn't that be more helpful? What is he going to do there? Fundamentally. So why are we trivializing this issue? If you have a problem with the way this entire exercise has been undertaken, the rescue that is, bring them on the table. Let Rahul Gandhi, or whoever it is, come out and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Perhaps have been ignored. This could have been done better. But I don't get that. I just get criticism for the sake of criticism.
Good evening, Rahul. At the onset, a massive gratitude to both our NDRF, SDRF and all the rescue workers who are working very hard, and we all, divided by ideology, are united that the 41 workers reach home and then they get the medical aid and they are safe and healthy. So we all stand by that. The criticism of the Honorable Prime Minister, you used the words to quote you, he's there in spirit. He's not in spirit in Gujarat. 8 bridges collapsed last year. What has happened? Look, why we are criticizing the Prime Minister? Why am I a critic of the Prime Minister? He's there everywhere to take credit, and that's fine if he's the Prime Minister of the country. Right now, the PMO got credit. Let me tell you, Rahul, and as the earth scientist spoke, the Himalayas are a very sensitive ecological zone. Construction today, and India has the technology, in the Himalayas, there should have been a 3D model. That was not done in this particular case. That anticipates any disaster. So you hope for the best, but you're prepared for the worst. It wasn't done. The escape route, like you said, was not present. To the extent that when the heavy machinery had to be brought in to save our rescue workers, the roads were not widened. So the roads had to be widened. Who does these things at the last moment? You don't go about constructing ad hominem. There is a plan to the construction. Therefore, you have 3D models that anticipates what happens if there is a collapse. As Dr. Bagai put it, What if the cold sets in? So none of this was anticipated. That today we are rescuing 41 people and we hopefully will have them home, and we all wish for that, is good. But somebody has to take onus for what's going wrong. And if the Prime Minister gets credit for rescuing the people, then he must also get flak for what happened, for the lack of planning. He can't escape that. And that is the moot point.
Okay, lack of planning. Let's ask let's ask the expert here. Dr. Yashpal Sundaryal is with us, Professor of Geology at the Hemwati Nandan Bahugana Garhwal University. Now, viewers, he is obviously somebody who has already spoken out. Now, Dr. Sundaryal, is there something that was, to begin with, wrong with the approach that was taken? Or are you today better informed because, they always say hindsight is 20/20? Is it a case of that, or are there any specific concerns that you might have, some omissions that have led to this?
I have already mentioned that tunnel are very safe way for travel in the Himalaya.
Yes, okay.
Is the first thing.
Right.
And I also added that tunnels should be constructed with specific technology and with a set procedure in the Himalaya. And I also mentioned that what happened in the Silkyara tunnel, it was due to lack of strong support. But yes, I will also appreciate that rescue operation was continuously monitored by the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand and Pradhan Sachiv of Prime Minister. They were at the site. So how this happened, I have already mentioned you. And
okay, well, there is an audit. There is an audit that has been ordered. And Sanju Verma, let me bring you in, but we're also getting visuals, viewers. Just for a moment, let's break to those visuals. Let's go full screen. And I just want to talk. Yes, I'm coming to you, Sanju Verma, in 30 seconds. I just want to talk over the visuals because I think there has been a development there. You're seeing that the Chief Minister is now at the site, viewers. So we might be just a few moments away from what would be really a miraculous rescue. And you have to thank Mother Nature for basically smiling on these trapped 41 hard-working Indian citizens. And you can see ambulances being reversed in now. There's a lot of activity, and I'm going to try and connect to our reporter on the ground to get a minute-to-minute update on what really is transpiring. But till then, all we can tell you, viewers, is that in just a few moments, there's going to be a bulletin that is going to give us the latest updates. And these feeds are coming in just from the mouth of the tunnel. So you can see that's the opening of the tunnel. It goes all the way in. And you can see that it goes a little down. And that's where the broad light is shining right at the top. If you see, there is a light that is shining, and a big machine has actually gone in, an excavator there. You can see that yellow light at the back. That excavator has also gone in. So hopefully, viewers, we are just moments away. As more workers pour into this tunnel, we are just moments away from a breakthrough. Sanju Verma, you wanted to make a point. Go ahead.
Thank you. Rahul, I can understand that, Tehseen is perhaps there with you in the studios, but I would like to have uninterrupted time because I'm making a very pertinent point. Let me come straight and address the elephant in the room, which is the role of the Prime Minister. People who are sitting here and giving a bhashan on how the Prime Minister should or should not behave. Let me just tell you this. For the longest time, I don't remember any Prime Minister of the erstwhile Congress dispensation spending every single Deepavali with the armed forces. Now, listen to this in 10 seconds. 2014, PM Modi spent Diwali at Siachen with the armed forces. 2015 with the armed forces at Amritsar. 2016 with the armed forces at Lahore Spiti. 2017 at Gurez. 2018 at Kamoli with the armed forces. 2019 at Rajouri. 2020 at Jaisalmer. 2021 at Naushera. 2022 at Kargil. 2023 at Lepcha.
I'm lost.
So don't give me a bhashan on the Prime Minister.
Not that the Prime Minister spent Diwali.
Okay, let's cut to Tehseen. Yeah, let him finish. Yeah.
Let me finish, Rahul.
I wish the Prime Minister the best and great he spent Diwali with the armed forces. How is this relevant?
Tehseen, you're in the studio. You're in the studio, so your voice will carry, and it's very impossible.
There is no relevance to it.
Maybe she's coming.
Logical point.
Maybe she's coming to our point. Okay. Please.
May I finish?
Let her
Answer me
finish.
on facts. Why is there no
Okay.
emergency escape route?
Rahul,
Can you answer me on that?
please come
The
in.
answer to why there is no emergency escape route
Let her
can't be the Prime Minister spend Diwali
Okay,
with our
let her
troops.
finish.
How is that relevant?
Okay, let's not be rancorous here.
I'm not.
No,
It's-
please,
it's
this
just-
is not the
it's just
occasion.
irrelevant
I
points.
understand these are important points
How
and
is
you
it
can ask them.
important?
Let her respond.
May I please?
No. Your questions
you.
are important.
Thank you.
The earth scientists' questions are important and Sanju Verma has a right to reply.
But the
and also
can't
you.
be
No, let
Prime
her-
Minister spending Diwali with troops.
Give
That's
her,
not
give
an
her
answer.
30
I'm sorry.
seconds.
Finish.
Give her 30
Sure.
seconds. Okay.
Sure.
Thank
What
you.
is the point you're making? Yes.
Yes, now let me come to the moot point. Tehseen Poonawala, who's an expert on everything under the sun, sits here and gives bhashan on 3D model, drone technology. ऐसा करना चाहिए था Uttarakhand government को. Where was this so-called expert on 3D modeling when 74 people were killed only as recently this August and September 2023? 74 people in landslides and torrential rain in Himachal Pradesh. Out of these 74 people, 18 people died because they were buried under debris. Where was Tehseen Poonawala's bhashan on 3D modeling then? Then let me talk about the torrential rain 2 months back in Karnataka. 2 lakh hectares of agricultural land and 50,000 hectares of horticultural land were laid to waste, destroying crops and the livelihood of farmers en masse. What was DK Shivkumar doing? Giving a bhashan to the Modi government on this and that. What was Siddaramaiah doing? Trying to hold on to his kursi and stave off opposition to his chair. So let these Congresses not sit here and give lecture on, what
Okay,
Modi
response
should
coming.
do or should not do.
Response coming and I'm going to go across to Anshul in just 30 seconds. Quick response,
She
please.
just made the point for me. The fact that in Himachal was a disaster is because of illegal and unplanned construction. And there was rains in Himachal, torrential rains. There was no rain here. This is an engineering failure. The government, if it gets credit, must stand up and take the onus. We still not answered the question why was there no escape route. Still not answered the question on the blueprint. The answer has been there was rains in Himachal. What were you doing? Prime Minister spent Diwali with the troops. How are these answers? These are no answers.
Okay, well, viewers, look, the audit should happen, must happen, and we must get clear answers from those who actually matter, who are the experts, the geologists, and other engineers on the ground. And hopefully that audit report will point us in the right direction. Right now, I'm being told that there has been a significant development on the ground, and I'm going straight across now to Anshul, who has been there for the last 17 days, monitoring this entire rescue effort moment to moment. Anshul, what can you tell us? Why is this so significant, this development?
So yes, a big breakthrough has finally happened. The breakthrough that we were talking about, and we were reporting to our viewers that how a new pipe needs to be pushed in so that the pipe is extended in fact beyond the debris points, and that has what has happened at this point in time. What we are being told that the pipe that has been pushed in has crossed at least 2 meters in front of the debris, and now a team of NDRF and SDRF has already started crawling inside that pipe, and once they reach on the other end, the pipe, the extension that is out, that will be stabilized. I will just try and move out of the frame and try and show you the movement that has already started over here. The Chief Minister, in fact, just went back from the war room that has been built over here. The Chief Minister is inside now and he is monitoring the situation. So once the stabilization of that pipe happens, the first person will come out within the next few minutes. So yes, the wait is not for that long now, and we are expecting that within the next few minutes, finally, the first worker will come out after 17 days that they have been stuck inside. The breakthrough, remember, was made at approximately 1:30 p.m. when CNN News 18 broke this story that the breakthrough has happened, and post that the operations were ongoing to push this pipe inside, and the pipe has now been pushed inside at least 2 meters away from where the last point of the debris is. Now the members of NDRF and SDRF have started crawling inside that pipe, and they will be reaching on the other end. Once they reach on the other end, they will try to stabilize the pipe so that no untoward situation arises when these people are being taken out. So yes, this is the latest update that we are bringing to our viewers, and within the next few minutes we can expect that finally the people will start coming out
Well,
from
this is the
inside
moment
tunnel.
then,
So
viewers.
yes,
This is
a
the
lot
moment
of-
that we've all been waiting for. Anshul is there with me. Anshul, just stay on. I'm just going to quickly, for the purposes of those viewers who've just tuned in, quickly sum up the facts for you. The facts are this, viewers, that the pipeline seems to have reached the workers. It has to be now stabilized so that people can crawl through this without it imploding on itself and pull the trapped workers, the Shramiks, one by one out of that particular pipe. Now remember, this pipe is quite long, it's not a short pipe, and therefore it needs to be stabilized, and one can't say how long that operation will take. But certainly, viewers, as I said, as I began this broadcast, there's now very, very visible light at the end of the tunnel, and you can already see a large number of NDRF workers who are going to go through that pipe after stabilizing it and then extricate these workers. You can already see them running in. So obviously, viewers, we are just moments away from when the first of the Shramiks will be brought out. There is a whole array of medical facilities available to them on site. There also, viewers, remember, are 41 ambulances, one for each of those workers, to take them to the nearest hospitals. One will, of course, be in Rishikesh. If there are problems which might have been unanticipated, undetected, which could need further, more critical care, then those Shramiks will be airlifted. And I want to bring back Anshul. Anshul, I'm told that there is a facility, an emergency facility, to airlift any worker who might find himself in more trouble than anticipated. Can you confirm, please?
So yes, there was this facility to airlift these people who might have needed more emergency facilities. But yes, since at this point in time, if the sun is down, the Chinook helicopter would not be able to take off. And now the next point of action is going to be is through the green corridor that has been built from here all the way to AIIMS Rishikesh. If at all from Chinali Sort, that is where the makeshift hospital has been made. If at all someone needs more attention, then those people would be taken in ambulances from here to Rishikesh. But
now,
however,
what's happening behind you? Because I'm beginning to see a large number of these makeshift or emergency equipment being taken in, including what appears to be stretchers. So what's happening here? Can you tell us what's happening exactly? We're getting visuals from deep inside now the tunnel, and we are seeing certain people being brought out. Now I can't make out if these stretchers are open and there are people in them, but certainly they are going, at least it appears to be that some of these workers are going in with these stretchers. So obviously, we are now, viewers, just minutes away from a rescue. What is happening, Anshul?
So yes, as we were reporting, the NDRF and SDRF have taken over this entire operation, and now the team of NDRF is now going inside with the makeshift stretchers that they had made. I'll again try to show the viewers the movement that is happening inside the tunnel. If you could just see in these visuals that how the NDRF and SDRF teams have now finally started going inside with the makeshift stretchers with trolleys that were attached to them, and now they have finally started to go inside. And as they will crawl in, the pipe will be stabilized within the next few minutes, and it is just a matter of minutes before the first person would come out of the tunnel. So yes,
Anshul, hold your breath. I'm going to go straight across to Dr. Bagai. Dr. Bagai, what's the likely response? Okay, we're going to try and get back Dr. Bagai. It's very important that we get him back because I really need a doctor in hand to explain to us and all our viewers what will be the first response from those medical teams. What are they going to actually focus on? What are they likely to encounter? So let's get Dr. Bagai back or any other person who's skilled enough to talk about the medical exigencies that one can expect. But you can see, viewers, a large number of people now coming out from there. They're carrying, obviously, material that was used in the rescue operations. Here you can see the first responders going in, the NDRF teams going in. And there, viewers, you are also seeing more and more personnel arriving at this site and moving into the tunnel. So we have a reaction coming in. Let's listen in.
सर हम लोग ने देखा कि स्ट्रेचर लेके जा रहे हैं।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
तो क्या वो स्ट्रेचर किस लिए लेके जा रहे हैं? उनको
लेके आने के लिए स्ट्रेचर ला रहे हैं कि वो चल के ना आए तो स्ट्रेचर पे लेट के आए वो।
अच्छा, तो कितने लोग गए हैं एनडीआरएफ के?
वो 4-5 आदमी गए, बाकी तो एनडीआरएफ की पूरी टीम है वहाँ पे। 20-22 आदमी हैं। जितनी जरूरत पड़ेगी उतने जाएंगे वो।
अच्छा, तो क्या ये टनल के अंदर जाएंगे क्या? पाइप के अंदर जाएंगे क्या?
हाँ, पाइप के अंदर ही जाएंगे और क्या, कहाँ से लाएंगे? जो
स्ट्रेचर
भी अंदर जाएगा।
तो 4-5 आदमी गए।
हाँ, चालू हो गया। अभी सभी लोग आ जाएंगे, सभी लोग सब आ रहे हैं, बस 2-3 घंटे में आपके पास ही मिलेंगे वो। सभी लोग कुशल हैं।
टनल के अंदर ये है, क्या तैयारियां हैं प्रशासन की तरफ से? अस्थायी
बहुत अच्छी है, बहुत अच्छी व्यवस्था है, प्रशासन की बहुत अच्छी व्यवस्था है और सभी की है।
सर एक साफ कीजिए बात।
नौशाद अली,
आपने कहा 4 लोग गए हैं अंदर एनडीआरएफ के।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
तो 4 लोगों को बाहर लेके आएंगे वो?
हाँ, 4 लोग को लाएंगे, वो तो कंटिन्यू है। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
4 के राउंड में
4 के राउंड में आपको 2 घंटे में पूरा टीम बाहर आ जाएगा। वो
कितना टाइम लगेगा? ये 50 मीटर
ओनली 15 मिनट, 15 मिनट, 15 मिनट, ओनली 15। नहीं 15 मिनट लगेगा।
4 लोगों को 15 मिनट,
4 लोगों को 15-20 मिनट लगेगा वहाँ चलाने, बाहर लाने के लिए।
बताइए, थोड़ा सा हम समझना चाह रहे हैं कि वो लाएंगे कैसे? आप थोड़ा
स्ट्रेचर है जो जिसके ऊपर वो लिटा के लाएंगे, जो एनडीआरएफ के पास होता है। व्हील है उसके ऊपर। ठीक है,
लेट जाएंगे
एक एक करके। वो जल्दी से आपको 1-1.5 घंटे नहीं, 2 घंटे में सारे आदमी बाहर आ जाएंगे। ठीक है, हाँ जी, बाहर आ जाएंगे।
ये एक बड़ी खबर जो है आप खुशखबरी दे रहे हैं।
खुशखबरी है, बहुत अच्छी खुशखबरी है। और अभी जो है ना हमारा कंप्लीट हुआ है और वो एनडीआरएफ जो है ना अपना काम करना चालू कर दिया है।
अच्छा, आप लोग कौन से टीम से हैं?
हम जो है ओगर से, हमारा ओगर से हमने पाइप।
Okay, viewers, that's the latest that is coming in from one of those NDRF men who is going right in, perhaps the team leader, and he's telling us that contact has been made, and any moment now, the first of the rescued workers will be out. Now, he's also told us that they will be on the stretcher because obviously, viewers, they're going to have to be immediately attended to. At this moment, they're running really on adrenaline, but once they come out, it becomes easier to detect if there is anything wrong with any of them. Let's listen into more reaction.
का काम किया है, क्या आप अभी देख कर आ रहे हो?
कुछ नहीं, अभी काम हमारा खत्म हो गया। पाइप उस पार टनल के चला गया है। अभी आरडीएफ ये आर्मी वाले और ये है, इन लोगों ने स्ट्रक्चर डाल दिया। आदमी को सुलाएंगे और खींच के इस पार करेंगे।
आर पार अब दिख पा रहा है?
हाँ, आर पार दिख पा रहा है। हाँ, दिख पा रहा है। हम लोग अंदर से ही
एनडीआरएफ एसडीआरएफ की टीम जा चुकी है?
हाँ, जा चुकी है।
पाइप में लाइट लगाई जा चुकी है?
हाँ, पाइप में सेफ्टी के लिए लाइट लगा चुकी है।
कितने मिनट बाद अब मजदूरों का रेस्क्यू शुरू हो जाएगा?
बस 20-25 मिनट के बाद मन निकाला जाएगा।
ये कई दिनों का श्रम, परिश्रम, मेहनत, अब लगता है वो थकान दूर होने वाला है और जल्द सभी लोग बाहर आएंगे।
हाँ, करेक्ट।
एक बार नाम बताइए।
परवीन यादव।
Praveen Yadav, one of those first responders there, telling us that in the next 20 minutes, we're going to have the first of the workers coming out. Viewers, this is very big. This is a big breakthrough in this rescue operation. It was against the tallest odds because if you remember, viewers, we're not cutting through loose soil. We are cutting through rocks, and Anshul is there. Anshul, this has been an operation which has really tested the ingenuity of the NDRF and obviously of the engineers. Anshul, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I
Yes,
can hear you, Rahul.
yes, very difficult operation this has been, hasn't it? 17 days.
So yes, this was one of the most difficult operations in the history of this country, and now finally we are seeing that the results are bearing the fruits. The hard work that has gone inside for the last 17 days continuously, finally that has been successful. So now Pushkar Singh Dhami has put out a tweet and in which he is seeing that सिल्क्यारा टनल में चल रहे रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में बड़ी सफलता मिल गई है। पाइप पुशिंग का कार्य मलबे से आर पार हो चुका है। अब श्रमिकों को सुरक्षित बाहर निकालने की तैयारी शुरू कर दी गई है। So yes, that's the stamp on our information that we got that the pipe has been drilled through towards the other side, and now finally within the next few minutes we are expecting that the first person would come out. Teams of NDRF and SDRF have started crawling inside the pipe, and within the next few minutes,
That's
as they reach
really,
on the other hand,
really
they will stay.
Very heartening news. Anshul, stay with me. More reactions coming in from there, from more workers, from more first responders, and I also want to bring in Dr. Bagai right after that. Let's listen in.
7:05 पे एग्जैक्ट पाइप ब्रेक थ्रू हो चुका है। वहाँ पे उत्तराखंड के चीफ मिनिस्टर साहबान हाजिर हैं। जनरल वीके सिंह जो मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट मोर्थ वो वहाँ पे हैं। मोर्थ सेक्रेटरी जैन साहब वहाँ पे हैं। NHIDCL के MD मिस्टर महमूद अहमद वहाँ पे हैं और डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, इंडियन आर्मी के लोग हैं, BRO के लोग हैं, रेस्क्यू एजेंसीज हैं, सारे मजदूर हैं। ये स्टोरी नाउ इट्स डेड। ये लोग वेलकम करने के लिए
You just heard that gentleman, clearly a senior official, saying that the story, in a sense, is now over, it's dead. Dr. Bagai, but obviously, there will continue to be the monitoring that goes on of the health of these workers. They've been there 17 days and not in easy circumstances, very trying circumstances. What is the first line of examination that will be conducted, number one? And number two, the long-term psychological effects of this also have to be sort of considered, isn't it?
Absolutely, Rahul. I think it's in three quick parts. The first part is when the first time the patient comes out or the person comes out, the worker comes out, what is his hemodynamic status? So we check for what we call as ABC, that is airway, breathing and circulation. So the patient or the worker has to be hemodynamically stable. His pulse rate and his blood pressure will be monitored, blood sugar will be monitored, and as required shifted to the hospital. Second is shifting to the hospital, what we call as ambulatory care or transport medicine, to keep the patient stabilized so that there is no overt deterioration. And third is the lab tests and the detailed evaluation. So the patients generally would have electrolyte dysfunction, loss of protein and calories, which cause malnutrition. They would have hypothermia, that is critical, especially in the oncoming winter now, and being in isolated confinement for 2.5 weeks. We have to check for physical injury. And last, most importantly, is the rehab is not completed till we look at the mental and the psychological state of these people. They've been alone, even though in a group, without light, without water, without food, for many, many days, with fear, anxiety.
Well, let me tell you, Dr. Bagai, let me tell you that the Chief Minister of the state of Uttarakhand has tweeted, and he has said that, and he's confirming the news that the breakthrough has taken place and that any moment now, the workers will be removed from their nature-driven forced incarceration for 17 days, viewers, if I can call it that. That's happening, and that is such great news. There has been no casualty, and let's hope and pray that it stays that way. There you can see the Chief Minister with VK Singh, General VK Singh, who's of course the Central MOS, who's also there. There are several other officials right there in that tunnel, and some of them are smiling because this is an important moment, viewers, very important moment in all of this. And one is very, very happy that we don't have an untoward incident that has taken place. Yes, we've had some setbacks, but that is to be expected in an operation of this nature under the most trying circumstances. But yes, we are broken through. Anshul Singh also there. Dr. Bagai, one very quick question I want to ask you. What is the worst case scenario here? What is the worst case scenario, and how do you prepare for it on site?
So I think most of the preparation actually, which we've been hearing through the news and through your channel, is already there at site. The triage, the paramedics, the doctors, teams from different states, different hospitals, including from All India Institute, the makeshift hospital, ambulances itself, helicopter in case it is required for airlifting. So I think most of the facilities have been put at site. The facilities generally would include oxygen cylinders, IV access, emergency medication kit, antibiotics if required, thermal blankets to make sure that the temperature of the body is reverted back to normal, stabilization equipment in case anyone needs respiratory support, and so on and so forth. So there's a deemed list which is as a protocol which is followed, and I'm absolutely sure everything is in order. Transporting them out of the tunnel would be a challenge, and I'm sure they've kept that in place. Taking them to the triage and then making sure that there's a gradual reverting back towards normal hemodynamic state, and then of course the long-term rehab as far as the psychological impact, if any.
Right. Well, Dr. Bagai, let me tell you, the visuals that we are now seeing are of the ambulances getting into position. So obviously what we can now confirm, viewers, is that this operation is in an advanced stage. All those ambulances now getting backed into that tunnel, because from those pipes very soon now we're going to see these workers being extracted and then immediately being put in these ambulances, as the case might be, taken away to administer all sorts of checkups that Dr. Bagai is speaking about. Now remember, it is very important to ensure that these individuals who have been inside for 17 days are immediately rehabilitated in a manner that their body is nourished with water and of course with important nutrients. So that is fundamental, because these individuals have been inside, probably not sleeping very well, obviously because of the stress, while they weren't in a very, very confined space, because the whole tunnel, 2 kilometers of it was sort of stretching out behind them. Viewers, you can just think about the lack of basic sanitation, enough water, etc., which can cause a certain degree of dysfunction in the body. So that has to be stabilized. And Dr. Bagai, do you see these individuals now being perhaps having to sort of spend a day in hospital, being administered all sorts of other checkups, etc.? And what would these checkups be?
I think a couple of days in the hospital, at least, I would say. They would require a certain amount of lab tests, basically to check for liver kidney function, the hemoglobin, look for different parameters in case there is any infection which they've developed. If any one of them have ongoing medical issues such as comorbid conditions or any ongoing medical disease, those medicines probably would not have been taken for many days, to make sure that all the parameters are normal, and definitely get a psychological evaluation through a counselor so that they are mentally and psychologically absolutely fine before they go home. Also to look after the families financially for a couple of weeks, because they may not go back to work immediately. They are just poor workers. So I think we need a more holistic all-round approach. But I want to give my compliments to the entire disaster management team and the state administration for putting so many moving pieces together. Let me restate, this is no mean task what they have accomplished. We may dissect it and do an audit much later, that's fine. But at the present moment, our only focus, aim and vision is to get these 41 people out in good medical state.
Okay, well viewers, here it is, this moment that the nation has been praying for. And the Chief Minister himself has come out and confirmed that a breakthrough has happened. It happened at 7:04 this evening as we were rolling, so we were not wrong, because Anshul was the first person to report that. Anshul, if you're still there and if you're connected, what really in the last 48 hours changed the dynamics of this operation? What were the couple of critical decisions that were taken?
दो बार आए
Okay, 2 are out. Anshul is saying 2 are out. Can you confirm, Anshul, what's happening? What's happening on the ground?
So yes, that's a big breaking news. 2 people have come out. The first 2 persons have come out from the tunnel, is what we have been told from a person from a source who is inside the tunnel at this point in time. 2 people have come out, Vijay Hori and Ganpati Hori. The 2 people who have now come out from the tunnel, this is something that has been confirmed to us out here at the tunnel site. So yes, this is the big success that has happened out here at the tunnel site as well. You can see the kind of movement that has already started of the ambulance over here. 2 ambulances are already inside. These people who have just come outside are now lying, or have now been taken to the beds that were set up inside the tunnel, and their initial medical checkups are being done. Once those medical checkups are come to an end, then we are expecting that all these people would slowly start, would then be loaded into ambulances with their family members, and hence they would start coming out one after the other. So yes, this is the big story. At 7:50 p.m. The 2 people have finally come out from the pipes, is what we can confirm to our viewers at this point in time. So yes, big success. Just the last few minutes to go. In another hour, we will see that all these people who were stuck inside, the 41 lives that were stuck inside for the last 17 days, all these people will start coming out, and finally this rescue operation will come to an end. So yes, the hardest part of the operation has ended. The pipe has been stabilized. NDRF teams have gone in, and now probably the easiest part of this operation is to make sure that these people come out with safety, and then they are loaded into ambulance, and then taken to Chiliani Sor.
Well, we did see those 2 ambulances being reversed into that tunnel. Viewers, there they are. Those are the 2 pictures, and perhaps in just a few moments these ambulances will depart from there. So viewers, the big breaking news: Vijay Hori and Ganpati Hori are the 2 workers that are out first. We are being told that over the next 1 hour, all the workers will be extricated, and we are very, very happy to tell you that these workers, as of now, are normal. They are not displaying any reasons or any signs of trauma, etc., at least on the face of it. So there's more movement at that mouth of the tunnel behind, obviously, the waiting ambulances, and the lights of the ambulances are now have been switched on, viewers. So you can see there will be movement any moment from there. Anshul, what are you seeing behind you? Can you turn around and tell us what's exactly now in your field of view?
So all the ambulances that were placed over here have been activated. All these ambulances are now one by one reversing into the tunnel, which means that more and more people have slowly started to come out. This is the third ambulance that has in fact gone inside at this point in time. Two people who already have been taken out. These people are now making sure, the doctors at this point in time are now making sure that the initial first aid is given to them, because remember, inside the tunnel the temperatures that they were facing was somewhere around the 25 to 30 degrees Celsius mark, whereas the temperature outside at this point in time is around the 10 degrees Celsius mark. So you can imagine there is a stark change in temperature, and hence warm clothes are being provided to them at this point in time, and the blood pressure, etc. The first initial checkups have started inside the tunnel, is what we can confirm to our viewers. And once that checkup ends, these people would be loaded into these ambulances that you are seeing on your screens right now. In fact, I'd like to ask my camera person to just zoom out, and you can see an entire cavalcade of ambulances whose lights have now been switched on, signaling that yes, the moment has come when they have to go inside the tunnel and then rush with these people to Chiliani where they would be treated. So yes, a lot of movement happening, a big positive breakthrough, positive news that we are bringing to our viewers, that finally the first two persons have started to come out. Initial first aid is now being given to them. Warm clothes has now been handed over to them, and the family members of these people have also been asked to come very close to the tunnel, because remember, these people were not allowed to go inside the tunnel because of the terrain of the tunnel and the risk that it had posed. Now finally the family members have started going inside the tunnel as well, and the first two people have finally been taken down, is what we can break to our viewers at this point in time. So yes, the initial first aid, and then we are expecting these people to be rushed to Chinali, which is 35 kilometers away from this location. Talk us through,
Anshul, the last 24 hours, the more critical period, because we know that the individuals that were brought in differ in their rescue technique from what was used earlier. So can you talk us through this rat drilling technique?
So yes, the last 24 hours has definitely proven to be a silver lining in this entire operation. Initially, the state-of-the-art American auger machine was used, but the manner in which that machine got stuck into the debris, that actually pushed the entire operation back by at least 60 hours. And post that, finally the decision was taken that no longer any machines would be used. In fact, the rat hole mining technique will be used, in which miners would be sent inside the tunnel, and they would be taking out the debris manually with small tools, and that eventually proved out to be the exact and correct method through which this operation became successful. So yes, in fact, what we are now being told, that the third person has also been taken out.
We can
break this at this point in time.
The third
person
big breaking news coming in from the ground. Third person rescued. Zaka, this is a great success, it appears.
Oh, it's huge. It's absolutely huge, not least for these people who have been stuck there for the last 17 days. Remember, they fell into this tunnel on Diwali day, and for the last 17 days they've been praying. The entire nation has been praying with them. We can now break for you that one more worker has been rescued. 3 workers have now been rescued. Ganpati Hore and Vijay Hore have been identified as the first two. We'll go across to Anshul, my colleague, who's also been there for the last 2 weeks or so now, covering every twist and turn in this story. But really, what a moment this is for the families of these 41 workers who've been stuck inside this tunnel for the better part of the last 2 weeks plus. You're seeing the first pictures of the ambulances taking these workers to the nearest hospital, which is about 30 odd kilometers away. Those who require minor treatment will be treated there. There are some cases who could be serious cases who will then be airlifted from there to a better hospital facility. But this is a huge moment in this story, which the entire nation has been gripped by for the better part of the last 17 days. You can see those live pictures of ambulances carrying the workers. The first 3 workers have been rescued. Vijay Hore and Ganapati Hore, our brothers, are the first 2 who've been rescued. A third worker has just been pulled out from the tunnel just moments ago. Anshul is there with us, and he's been there covering this story, every twist and turn of this story for the better part of the last 17 days. Anshul, give us more details. Now a third worker has been pulled out. Do we know the identity, and what kind of initial treatment, medical treatment, are these workers being given?
Yes, the initial treatment, basically, Zaka, you can imagine that the temperature inside the tunnel was somewhere around a 25 to 30 degrees Celsius mark, and now as they have come outside, the temperature is down to almost 10 degrees Celsius as we are speaking. So yes, initially warm clothes have been provided to them, and also the initial medical checkups are being done. In just a matter of seconds, we are expecting the first ambulance to actually come out from inside the tunnel. If I would ask my camera person to zoom out of the frame, and you can actually see that the entire cavalcade of ambulances is absolutely ready. The message has been given to them. The message is clear that people have started coming out, and one by one these ambulances are being reversed into the tunnel to that exact spot where the initial medical treatment is being given to them. Now, what is this initial medical treatment? Initially, some medicines and ORS is being provided to them, along with warm clothes and warm water that has been given to them. And now things like blood pressure is being checked, just to make sure, because the excitement you can sense, Zaka, the excitement that you can feel, that there is definitely a lot of excitement amongst the people as they have finally come out of the tunnel after the 17 days, and hence their blood pressure is being stabilized. And once that process ends, then these ambulance that you are seeing on your screens right now, absolutely ready, ready.
एक लोग आया जी, कहाँ से है जी? उन लोग अभी एम्बुलेंस में चढ़ाया, हम लोग देख के आ गया।
एम्बुलेंस में चढ़ा दिया
ये पता नहीं है जी, हम
चढ़ा दिया ना
जी,
एम्बुलेंस में चढ़ा दिया।
हाँ जी जी जी।
क्या था, कितने साल का है वो लड़का और क्या नाम है उसका?
जी 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 जी, हम पास में जाने, प्लीज पास में जाने की नहीं देता है, हम लोग 50 फीट दूर में देखा।
तो सर आपने जो देखा जी, क्या वो कैसा?
बिल्कुल अच्छा कंडीशन में,
अच्छा कंडीशन,
बिल्कुल।
सर एज क्या होगी लगभग?
मेरा वैसे 25-27 होगा, बस एक निकला है जी।